This is the first time that this has happened. This administration and this minister had given a commitment to the people of Jamaica that we were going to negotiate a new license. We didn't say who the new license would be with. And at this point, what I have stated here today is that I have separated Melissa and the needs that the JPS needs for Melissa in terms of funding to bring forward the timelines. And I can state here now that the contract with the consultants out of the UK were signed yesterday. They arrive here next week. The negotiating team of the government of Jamaica is ready to go to the table with the JPS next week with the hope of coming to some kind of agreement or to have a disagreement so we know exactly which road we are going down. So to ask me about a valuation when a negotiation is just starting and the license is very explicit on what happens if the government takes the position that they are going to buy out the assets of the existing electricity provider. So that is a premature question that I can't answer because I don't reach here yet, because it might not even be necessary. So that's number one. Number two, the meeting that I had yesterday with the chairman of the JPS, the CEO of the JPS, and the CFO of the JPS, in relation to what we agreed, was unanimous as the best way forward to deal with the current situation and to make sure that we don't delay it and we go on the same path, which is to try and come with an agreement in the shortest possible time with the negotiation teams at the table. Any attempt to rush a negotiation because you are responding to Melissa would be irresponsible, and it would only delay the process of restoration, because that can't happen in a day, a week, a month, or 2 months, or 6 months. 2 years in itself is a stretch. But my commitment on behalf of this government is that we are going to go to the table and we are going to try, and based on the meeting that we had yesterday, and the fact that they know already the fundamental changes that we want, that we will have a path that will either take us to consensus or we move to the next point, which is options. The government is still in control of this negotiation and has the leverage, because we are the one who have to issue the license whenever that time comes. So I want to make Jamaica assured that Melissa has not shifted that when, if it was negotiated differently, it could have easily given the government less leverage based on the circumstances. I want to mention about Petrojam. You asked some questions. I'm prepared to get those answers for you and give you, as we usually communicate, because that is important information. You mentioned Paradise Solar. You said we didn't mention anything about LNG. You would have seen the statement from JPS about what they are doing for the customers of JPS in terms of no disconnections, payment plans, etc., etc. The JPS knows exactly from Beryl where this government stands. The OUR is already on top of their game, and we are going to make sure that before anything happens in relation to any discussion about price increase or rate increase, that a proper discussion is had and it is evaluated, and whatever it is has to be communicated and dealt with. If it becomes that way, you are going a bit further, because you reach to that point. Where I reach is to make sure what I announced today happens in the shortest possible time, to ease the burden and the suffering of those who don't have not even a tarpaulin over their head. So I give you the assurance that that is on my radar. And if that is inevitable, we will manage it and we'll make sure that we do what we have to do to ease the burden on the customers of the JPS. You asked about interest rate. We got approval yesterday. The Ministry of Finance, I think at this hour, if not this evening, tomorrow morning, will start discussions with JPS. And as I said before, we have to be very careful, because if we are lending the money and the interest rate is not reasonable, and by the way, it's consolidated fund money. It's not borrowed money, it's consolidated fund money. But guess what? If you don't spend $150 million to do this, and you spend it on some house, and fix some school, and some water, and you don't have light, the $150 million don't value nothing. Because light, electricity, is the most important thing in a recovery as we speak now. So I take full responsibility with support of my minister. As I said before, you were asked about the shortfall. We have given a commitment for $150 million. They are to come back in relation to their financial model for the balance. The original ask was $300 million. We said we are prepared to do 2 months to get the restoration back. We will evaluate it at that point, depending on where we are. But right now, the most important thing is to move that 4 to 6 months and cut it down to 2 to 3 months. If the Jamaican people know and see the activity on the ground, to know that January 2026 is going to be the last of the suffering because of electricity, they can manage that. But if you tell them May, June next year, they're just going to throw up their hand in the air, because 6 months is impossible to sustain. So, remember, you and I get on. We can discuss anything you want, whether off air, on air, wherever you want. Just understand one thing. My responsibility on behalf of this government and the Andrew Holness-led administration is to reduce the suffering of the people in the shortest possible time. And this is a game changer to what JPS had proposed originally and was going down the road. And the fact that we can do what we have done without mixing the loan with any extension to the license is making sure that our commitment to the Jamaican people is upheld. So, as I said before, we can talk more. Thank you.